Hello, I want to welcome you to the first in a series of tutorials on how to use Geogebra. So I'm assuming at this point that you already have Geogebra installed and you've opened it to give a screen similar to what I'm showing. So Geogebra is broken up into a series of different regions. So we'll first start off by reviewing the different regions. So at the very top here you have the menu bar. Below that you have the toolbar with the various tools you can use to create your Geogebra constructions. In the center you have the graphics window. To the left of the graphics window is the algebra window. So everything that you create in the graphics window will also show up in the algebra window. So if I create a point here, the coordinates of those points will show up in the algebra window. At the very bottom here, you have the input bar. So the input bar, basically anything you can do with the GUI and Geogebra, you can also enter as a command in the input bar. And there's actually many more commands available in the input bar than there is in the GUI portion. So as you get more advanced in Geogebra, it's worth your while to learn about the various commands. And that can be helped here by, to the very right of the input bar, you can click on this side triangle, and what you'll see is it'll bring up a series of help topics that you click on, and it'll basically give you the different commands that you can enter into the input bar to do calculations. And up at the top here to the far right, you have an undo and redo button. So these will be very useful to you as you're getting started. If you make a mistake, just click the undo. It'll take you back to your previous step and you can start again. If you want to go forward some steps, if you've gone back, you just hit the redo button and it'll recreate anything that you've undone. So starting out at the menu bar, so you've got a file command. And so that basically are the things that you're familiar with. You can open up a new window. You can open up a completely new command or GeoGebra creation. You can open up a save file. You can open up an example file from GeoGebra Tube. You can see a list of your most recent files to open those quickly. You can save your work here, and then you can also share it or print it. Under the Edit window, you also have the ability to do undo, redo from here. You can copy graphics and paste them to save you from having to recreate certain work if you need to duplicate. You can save your graphics to the clipboard, or you can insert images from either a file or the clipboard. The View menu, GeoGebra actually has many more views than what we're showing here. So you can go to a spreadsheet view, computer algebra system view. You can open up a second graphics view. You can do 3D graphics, construction protocols, or probability calculators. So depending on the type of math that you're doing, what you need to see, you can open up these various windows, arrange them however you like to give you kind of a custom feel for whatever analysis that you're actually doing. In the options menu, you have various things you can set, like the algebra descriptions, how GeoGebra rounds numbers, labeling of points and figures and objects, the font size, what language you want to use, and more advanced settings. The tool menu, you can actually customize the toolbar and put things in different orders, or put more toolbars that you use more often. Customize that for yourself. You can create new tools and put those on the toolbar, and you can manage all those tools from here. So the window, if you have multiple windows open, you can use the window menu to switch between your various windows. And it's also got a help menu here where you can get various tutorials. You can get the GeoGebra manual, go to the GeoGebra forum, and do those kind of things. So below that, as I mentioned, we have the toolbar. You have all of the various tools that you can use in GeoGebra from the GUI. So starting at the far left, you've got the Move toolbar, and you'll notice that there's a little inverted rectangle at the bottom right of each of these toolbars. And what you can do is you can click on that, and you can see all of the tools related to that given tool in a group. And select those. So it can keep the toolbar fairly short and compressed, but you can expand on each of these sections and get many more commands that you can use. So the first one is to click on an object. You can move it around the screen, move it to different points. Next, you've got the point menu. Here's where you create points. You can create points in free space. You can create points on objects. You can attach or detach a point from or to an object. You can create points from intersections of objects. You can create points at the midpoint or center of certain objects, and you can do complex numbers as well. Next to that, you've got the line menu. So here you can create lines, line segments, segments with given lengths, rays, polylines, and vectors. Related to that, you can create perpendicular lines, parallel lines, perpendicular bisectors, angle bisectors, tangents, best fit regression lines. In the next toolbar, you've got the polygons. So you can do polygons, regular polygons, rigid polygons, or vector polygons. Following that, you can do the various circles, semicircles, arcs, circular sectors. Next to that, you can do your various conic sections. You can do ellipses, hyperbolas, parabolas. Next, you've got the angles. So you can measure angles between two lines, or you can create angles in space standing by themselves. You can do distance or lengths, areas, or slopes. Next to that, you've got the various transformations. So you can do reflections, rotations, and translations. Next menu, you can do text, insert images, you can do some freehand drawings, and then following that for customization and getting user input, you can do sliders, checkboxes, OK buttons, and input boxes. And in the far right, you have the ability to kind of click this and move around the graphics window. You can move your graphics window around. You can zoom in, you can zoom out by hitting these various buttons. And so that allows you to kind of move around, get the view that you need for whatever you're working on. You can also show or hide objects from here, show or hide labels, and you can delete objects as well. So that's a very quick overview and just of kind of what's available to you. You'll become much more familiar with how to use all of these various tools as we kind of walk through the tutorials.